Alright, I think I'm going again. With that little red. I'm off center again. No, no, that's not alright. There we go. I'll lean over this way. God, I look funny. This side of my beard is got all kinds of hair on it. And I lay on it all the time. No, no, I lay on this side. I got longer hair on this side, and no beard on this side. And it don't make sense because I lay on this side all the time. So my hair should be shorter on this side too, not just my beard. I don't know. We don't want to talk about that. More music. Well, I kind of stayed away from music through junior high and stuff. It was what I wanted to do, So all they had is band, which I knew I couldn't play band because I couldn't read music. But they had choir and glee club, so I got into choir and glee club, which I loved to sing. So that was just perfect for me. I aced it every year. It was one of those. To me, it was natural class, and my voice has changed from a soprano to a. They called me a baritone, but they let me sing everywhere they needed some volume. I sang all the way from alto to bass to I sang just about every part where they needed some power. Power, and I have none now, but back then I had pretty good power. And we won competitions. We won things that we didn't require. Every time we went, we won. Yeah, I think it was from singing in church and wanting to sing and enjoying it. We had a good time. And then I told you my brother went in the Marines. I'm not sure if it's on tape or not, but we moved to California first we moved to Gig Harbor, and I went to Peninsula High School as a ninth grader. And in ninth grade, I was a football player. Well, I was so much better than the kids in their school because they didn't get junior high football. I had junior high football. So when I started playing football over at this little teeny high school, I was better than everybody because I had more training in it. I knew what to do and how to do it. So I automatically became a star. What a good place to start being a star at a new high school with all different new teachers. I just was friendly, did what I was told, and didn't get in no trouble. Oh my God, I forgot. I got kicked out of junior high once. You know what I got kicked out for? They come up with this rule you had to wear a belt. Well, I didn't have a belt for one thing, and I was fat and heavy anyway, so I didn't need no goddamn belt. I pulled my pants up and kept them up. Everybody else was wearing their pants below the crack of their ass. And I didn't like that, but they kicked me out of school for it. Made me wear a string around my waist just because they had this rule. It was the only time my dad ever came to school. He went down and talked to that teacher. The next day, I didn't have to wear a belt. I never knew what went on between him and the principal, but I didn't have to wear a belt no more. They left me alone. Okay, Peninsula High School. I had no problems in Peninsula High School except for the letterman. I never heard of Frosh hazing. Well, I was a Frosh, and they wanted me to be hazed their way. Okay, I tried to go along with it. They told us we had to wear t-shirts backwards. That ain't no big deal. I didn't care. But then they told us we had to wear our underwear on our head. Huh. You see, which one of you guys gonna put underwear on my head? Well, some of those big old senior football players tried to. Well, I was in the principal's office right away, and they were on the floor, all bloody. And they're telling me I'm a bad guy. And I'm telling, hey, these guys tried to make me put my underwear on my head. Well, that's cold frost hazing. Well, what in the hell is frost hazing? Is that legal? Can you actually kick me out of school because I won't go along with that shit? Last teacher that tried that, my dad come to school. You want to see my dad? I didn't have to be frost hazed. All the other kids had to be frost hazed, but they left me alone for a little while. It went on about 3 months. Those poor other kids had to put up with it. But they got me outside the lunchroom. And outside the lunchroom there was outside. And there was this little hole full of water, that some sort of pond or something, but it had a spring in it. It had a fence around and stuff, but they tried to throw me in that. Ah, guess who went in that? Wasn't me. And the kids were driving cars that were trying to throw me in there. I even put one of their cars in there with them. I drove right over that fence and parked it right in there with them. And there was 4 guys in that car that were trying to stop me. They went in the pond too. They got pissed at me for that one. I kind of got kicked out of school for destroying property. They gave me a 3-day suspension, which was actually great. It was Monday. It means I didn't have to practice football. And I got to come back on Thursday and Friday and play on Saturday. Didn't hurt at all. Didn't screw up my grades or nothing. But it did stop. That was the end of the frost hazing for everybody. The teachers stopped it. Never existed at that school after that. They figured there might be more of these city boys coming over here. We better clean up our act. So that's what they did. And I didn't play my guitar or nothing all through high school. But my brother was in the Marines, so my sophomore year we went down to California because he was stationed down there. My dad was out of work up here, and we went down there and lived in Huntington Beach, California. Oh, what a wonderful place Huntington Beach was. I mean, I met this blonde girl, the cutest little blonde girl, and she taught me to skateboard and took me surfing. And my brother got married to this chick that was in the same grade as me. She was younger than me, but she was in the same grade as me. And she did all my reading through school for me because my brother went to Nam and she stayed with us. We went to the same school. She introduced me to all the girls and told me what they were saying about me and stuff. It was kind of a neat relationship. She could read and write, but she couldn't remember anything she read and write. I got better grades than her, and I couldn't even read anything. But got through high school down there for, a year. I got to play football with the big teams. I loved it. I was a fullback playing against these monster suckers. Wow. But they couldn't move, and I could move. So those monster suckers just, ha ha, look again, I'm over here. And I used to love to run through the woods. I used to run 4 miles through the woods home because it's either that or ride 2 hours on the bus because the bus had to go around. There wasn't a road through where I lived on this lake. So I cut through the woods. and I ran 4 miles. So down there they had this thing you had to run 2 miles, and they were timing these guys, and everybody in football and PE, they hated it. I didn't hate it. I went out there and got second best score the school ever had, and I was having a good time. Except it was boring running. They had it around tracks and through the grass, but there was no trees. It wasn't like running in the woods. You know, you couldn't come up on a deer or a bear or a squirrel or cow shit or stuff in the path. You just ran in this nice, easy path. It was easy. But that didn't last long. We came back up here. We had our house rented when we went down there. Oh, our house on this lake was something else. Another way I earned money while I was a kid. Before I got to go to school, my uncles and my dad and stuff, they tore down old houses. I got paid a penny a pound for nails. Hey, I had show money every Saturday, and the folks got us out of the house. I collected pop bottles and got paid a penny a pound. Learned how to pull nails. Learned how to hammer them. I got real good at it. Made my living doing it since then all my life. Except for a short period of time and being a plumber, an electrician, and laying carpet. Did a year of all those. 2 years of being a plumber. And then was down in San Francisco. All the second time. San Francisco. I tried to enlist in the military. Gotta tell you this story. I tried to enlist in the military to follow my brother and my father and stuff. And that was right after I graduated from high school. I was in the best shape of my life. And I show up to the draft board, and they take me 4 hours running me through every test. And I'm in a room right at the end, and they say, do 10 push-ups. I do 10 one-arm push-ups on my knuckles. And these other guys couldn't even do 10 normal push-ups. But they wouldn't take me because I was 3 pounds overweight for my age and size. I was too heavy for them. I didn't understand that. They got all these wimps going in the military that haven't got a muscle on their body. And they say I'm too, the papers said I was 3 pounds overweight. They told me, well, you could defer that. And I says, defer what? Either take me or draft me. So I went out and got myself a job at Boyd's. Worked at Boyd's, pretty good job. Boyd's is a kind of a neat company. They're pretty lazy. They work real hard. And it's boring. They take long lunches and play pinochle for money, you know. I think that's a highlight of half a month's work day. They didn't like me there because I didn't take breaks. It was so much easier to work. And I discovered all kinds of different things for them. I learned how to rivet without a guy on the other side holding the rib bar. I found this squeeze one lunch hour. I was walking around and I found this squeeze. And I was putting the window, the escape panel for the pilots on a 727. And they used to take 2 guys 2 days to put in this panel. Well, with the squeeze I found, I could do it with 1 guy in 1 day. No problem. And that was just the first day. And I did 3 panels that day. So I did 3 panels. The time it took 2 guys to do 1 panel. And they wanted to know how to do that. They gave me an upgrade. I came out of they had a training program. I came out of the training program, not as a grade 1. I mean, not as a grade 10, as a grade 7. Because I helped teach the teacher how to use tools, because I knew how to use tools. None of those guys knew how to use tools. So I started out way ahead of them. By the time I was done with Boynes, I was in grade 6. And all the old guys didn't like me because how can you be a grade 6? Took me 20 years to get here. And you've been here 6 months and you're grade 6. Well, I was going to go. I find I'm in one of those guys that flew around with the planes and worked on other planes in different countries and stuff. But